Dudes, this one is for my Mexican friends. And you know what? As if I weren't clashing enough already, because this is for my Mexican friends, I must wear my Mexican hat. Boom. All right. Let's do this thing. Things I am grateful to Mexico for. And I'm going to start off with the very biggest one, the most sentimental, the most near and dear to me. So, start off with a bang, maybe end with a whimper, but I don't think so. There are a lot of things to be glad for Mexico of. And the first thing is El Chavo del Ocho. Chaves, as we call them in Brazil.
Chaves, Chavinho.
My childhood was basically one long Chaves episode, dubbed over, of course. I feel the way Mexicans and Mexican Americans say they feel when they see El Chavo del Ocho. I was at a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant in the Carolinas that had just opened. And in the back, up above, they had like a 3-foot statue of Chapulín Colorado. What do they call him in Spanish? I think it's El Chapulín, right? El Chapulín Colorado.
Oh, e agora quem poderá nos defender?
Eu.
Oh, e agora quem poderá nos defender?
And I felt so glad inside, so happy inside, so comfortable. There's no possible way I can explain the depth of feeling of just childhood, home, comfort of this sad barrel-dwelling kid, and superhero alter ego, whatever debate you want to have. It's like a Calvin and Hobbes debate, that one. Man, thank you, Mexico, for Chaves. I'm going to call him by his Portuguese name.
Isso.
Como que o Chaves canta?
Chave. Isso.
Thank you to Mexico for elevating the hot dog. Mexicans put hot dog in everything. And actually, the hot dog is where the idea for this video came from. And it had nothing to do with Mexico. I was in Alaska, and I walked into this establishment late at night, and their kitchen was closed. They served beverages, and they had always a soup on. And they had chili with soup, like chili con carne. Wow, that made no sense. Chili with soup. They had chili with hot dogs. Now, it was straight up chili, like beans, a bit of tomato, some ground beef, lots of onion, lots of dry chili powder, and hot dogs. I went back the next night. There was another soup with hot dogs. It turns out they had an event that wasn't as big as they thought, and they were just cutting up little bits of hot dog and throwing it in whatever their soup of the day, or they gave free soup to their customers, was. This is in Alaska. The idea of chili with hot dogs disgusts me, still disgusts me, even though I was quite pleased with it. But I ate the soup and I liked it. I liked this chili with hot dogs. And it made me think about how Mexicans put hot dogs on everything. And often it's an unmitigated disaster. But very often you're like, whoa, this is nice. And it's an excellent, efficient use of protein. People say that in ancient civilizations they were more enlightened than us because they ate the whole animal. They didn't take a life without taking advantage of the whole animal. Hey, we take advantage of the whole animal. Mexicans take advantage of the whole animal. You're not going to have like a torta, like a sandwich from like a Hawaiian or Milanesa. It's going to have hot dog in it, salchicha everywhere, and I kind of dig it, even though sometimes It fills me with chagrin. Usually, it fills me with glee. And it is glee.
Así es como nos queda el ceviche de salchichas.
Like, it's just like a happy, like, whee! They dared to put hot dogs in this thing, and it worked. Look up, by the way, Mexican recipes with hot dogs. You will be blown away. For me, the biggest thing that Mexico brings to food, I know it sounds simple, but all ideas of genius, all contributions of genius are simple. Like the way Argentinians can cook a slab of flesh is amazingly simple. It's the right way to do it. The way the Japanese can cut a piece of fish, it's simple, it's beautiful, it's the right way to do it. The acid, the lime, the way Mexicans use lime, thank you. Thank you, Mexicans, for using lime the way you do. And then the way that combines with chili, that's the next thing I want to thank Mexico for. I have a very specific thanking to make with chili. I mean, chili on all sorts of things. With lime, oh man, it's so good. So good, I could talk about a ton of things. But I want to talk about mango lollipops covered in chili powder. Let me just say that again. Mango lollipop covered in chili powder. Whew. Yes, sir. Still talking about food. This is the last one about food. Thank you for appreciating the tamarind, Mexicans. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The tamarind is eaten in many other countries, and I know it's eaten in southern and southeastern Asia. I don't know anything about that. I just know that they have it. It's eaten in other parts of the Americas. I mean, in Brazil it's eaten, and in some parts of Brazil it's popular, but I don't know of anywhere besides Mexico where the tamarind is a passion. Tamarind this, tamarind that, tamarind this, tamarind that, tamarind candy, tamarind sauces, tamarind drinks. It doesn't matter, like just tamarind, and I love tamarind. And I was made to love tamarind by Mexicans. A chewy pod that, I mean, have you seen a tamarind? It does not look attractive, and it definitely does not look like what it tastes like. I avoided tamarind for years, tamarind flavored stuff. And it just doesn't look like what it would taste like. The fact that Mexicans are passionate about this thing actually really pleases me. And I love that they are obsessed with tamarind candy. I love that you, my Mexican friend, are obsessed with tamarind candy. Thank you for confusing me. Thank you for having your own words. I mean, from country to country, the Spanish changes, and everyone has their own vocabulary, their own slangs. You know, a lot of those things you can just figure out from context, you know, especially the idioms. But yeah, there's vocabulary that's specific to each country. Thank you for being bizarre compared to the rest of the Spanish-speaking world, but in such a natural way. I mean, you took in the Amerindian words, made them a part of Spanish, and there's no one who's going to tell you that the main way to say maíz is maíz. No one's going to tell you that the main way to say maní is maní. I remember the day I discovered that maní was cacahuete. Cacahuete. And how am I, a good American, supposed to eat my peanut butter when I know it's made from cacahuete? I mean, when it was maní, just maní was fine. But cacahuete, come on. Elote na maíz. I mean, that one just kills me. And then to have like elote en vaso, it's just maíz. I mean, every other European language uses some variation of maíz. But it's cool, it's charming. I'm beginning to sound frustrated, but that's because when you rant, the rant takes over, like has its own energy. This is not about that. This is about my delight in that fact, and that localization. I mean, local, like it's such a huge country with so many people. But the fact that you have your own vocabulary. And sometimes it gets flipped on its head, like what happened with aguacate. because the origin of the avocado is Central America, like right around there. No one's exactly sure where, but there-ish. And most of the names for the avocado, you can tell are connected to aguacate, cool, including avocado, great. Florida, for the longest time, was the alligator pear, and I love that. But in the southern cone of South America, for no reason that I can discern, some scholar may put something in the comment section, please do, palta!
Palta y mayonesa.
And it shouldn't be palta. You guys should get to say that it's aguacate. But since I do identify more with the southern cone, I'm going to continue to say palta and really hope to confuse you back. I am thanking you, Mexican, for confusing me with your vocabulary. And I will hope to just return a little fire using words such as palta. But really, you guys take the cake when it comes to having your own Mexican words. Like I live in the Southwest. My kids will ask me, what does such and such mean in Spanish, right? That's the normal thing we do, okay? Because, they pick up a little Spanish from me. They say, what does such and such mean? And I say, well, that's Mexican for such and such. They understand that I'm not saying Mexican as a substitute for Spanish, right? Like some ignorant I do. But what I'm saying is, it's Mexican Spanish. Like it's Mexican, like it's just, and it's Mexica, it's Mexica. It is ancient. It's really Mexican. I dig that. Thank you. The last one is for farts. Thank you, Mexicans, for filling your mouths with farts. Is that the best way I could have said that? I hope so. Thank you for saying the word fart so much and for everything. I mean, it's the Mexican F word. Like if you look at the F word from a syntactical point of view, from a parts of speech point of view, the flexibility that it has is absolutely astounding. And so it is with pedo. So thank you, my Mexican friends, for how you talk about farts. Farts are everything. What's going on? What fart? What is this thing? What fart? What are you doing? What fart? What a great party. Well, I was about to say a naughty word. I'm not supposed to say naughty words on this channel, but it started with a CH and it ended with an ON. But regardless, what a great fart. What a great anything is what a great fart. What a terrible, most things can be what a terrible fart. Fart, fart, fart. Thank you, Mexicans. And I really feel like that's a good way to end the video. We start the video with sentimentality and my childhood. We move to food. We move to vocabulary, but we end with farts. And that's appropriate. Que pedo. The peace of Christ be upon you, my Mexican friends and my other friends.